I get it. You wish you could get back to the honeymoon phase because your relationship feels frustrating. It feels harder than it should. Maybe you're wondering if you're with the wrong partner. You're not. Maybe you're thinking that you're broken. You're not. It's normal. You're okay. As they say, the honeymoon must end because that's how you get to the next phase of a relationship, which is known as the power struggle. This is the part that makes or breaks you. But making it doesn't have to be luck, especially if you think of it as the practice phase. I'm going to explain the three phases that every relationship goes through and how to get to what I call the love you man phase, where you trust that you're going to grow better and better and old together. I'm Amy Keller, your intimacy coach, and I created the intimacy game plan because I could see this obvious pattern happening in every relationship hits that power struggle and then they break or they just feel stuck and live frustrated forever. Maybe they go looking for help as a therapist, but as a therapist, I can tell you, just talking is not really addressing intimacy. Nobody teaches us intimacy or how to actually build it for the long term together. And that's why I'm here. Every relationship goes through these three phases. Every. In an intimate relationship, your relationships at work, when you're working as a team, or even team sports. And I use sports metaphors, and it works. Let me explain. The first phase of the relationship, that's the honeymoon phase, right? Where I love you, you love me, love will keep us together. In sports, that's where you've made the team. We made the team. We've got the same name on the front of our jerseys. We both want the same thing to win the championships. And that's all it takes. Let's do this. And then comes the power struggle. That's where the team is like, you're throwing it too high. You're throwing it too low. I don't want to practice. Can't we just go to the game? I already know what I'm doing. Don't tell me what to do. Right? But because that team has a practice, they show up. And athletes, if you think of them as our finest specimens, they've got talent. They have to practice to drop the defenses and drop the competition so that they can take on that team mind. It's a team sport, which means I need you to be your best. I need you to be your best. Because when you come together as a team, that's what makes you your best. That's why I'm a coach, not a therapist. You don't need a referee. You need somebody who understands you and says, hey, here's how you grow better together. And here's how you find your signature positions, your signature moves. And as you're practicing to be your best, that practice needs a consistency. And you might think, I already know how to throw, don't tell me how to throw, because when somebody's giving you how to put that little spin on the ball, you go, oh, okay, wow, that worked. Show me more. Does that make sense? Of course, you think you're a great thrower. That's why you made the team. But doing it as a team, that's the part that takes the practice. And that's where that resistance is. That's the power struggle. Every human has it, especially shows up in every team. Maybe you can see it at work. Maybe you can truly visualize it in sports. That's why sports metaphors work. Like a couple who came to me, they'd been married for over 20 years. And that's what I do. I help men and women make sense of it. What she wanted was to feel heard, seen, understood. What he wanted was to feel connected and sex. And they've been going to therapy and they're going, where are the solutions? We've talked about the problems. We're tired of talking about the problems. It was so triggering for them. And I understand. I was trained as a therapist. While I was doing my supervision, I had a couple there, and I couldn't stand listening to the problems anymore. And I went, shh. And I led them through a huddle. I said, stop talking. Are you here? And they were like, well, I'll be a bunch. Are you here? Just give me an uh-huh. Are you okay? And they both were like, uh-huh. I said, just willing to just stop talking for a minute and connect. I'm like, yeah. I had him look at her knees, her look at his knees. And we just sat there and breathed for a minute. And when my supervisors saw the tape, they were like, what is that? And I said, that is connection. That's the connection that can only happen when you stop talking That is the solution. That is the huddle. And it's not woo woo, it's science. When you make these huddle sounds together, where you intentionally stop spinning the words in your head and start, feeling present, just like a team does. That's what says, I'm here, I'm connected. Drop the outside world. And they left going, okay, I feel calm. Isn't that a nice thing? They felt comfortable together. Well, a little bit awkward, but they felt comfortable together lot better than they did when they'd leave a therapy session. And I'm like, dude, I want you to lead it. This is how you do it. HOW, here, okay, and willing. I want you to do it every day in any mood that you guys are in. Do it at a particular time. You're building consistency just like you would with a team. Oh, we got that huddle at this time. You show up for your team. You don't talk about the past games. You don't talk about the fouls. Just connect. Go do it. The next time they came to see me, they were both excited to come. They felt comfortable together. There was so much lightness between them. They didn't fight all week. They said they felt silly. They said it was kind of fun, that they felt more connected without talking. It's like building a real skill. This huddle builds the skill of presence and connection, just being with each other. That's intimate. It's not something you would do with anybody else. And they're like, okay, what's next? What's next? And I said, next, now that you have this tool where you feel emotionally safe with each other, I want you to be able to feel physically safe with each other. She would complain about the way that he initiated. He would complain that she never initiated. Well, how are we supposed to know how to do these things? Just like a team, a football team, you've got that way that you start the game. So I taught them a starting move that's vulnerable. It's not sex, it's sensory. So now there can be present, and then they can actually attune to their touch. First, they're tuning to sound, now they're tuning to touch so that they can actually stop talking about their feelings, stop focusing on the hurt feelings, and just start feeling each other. This is about touch. Intimacy isn't talking and it isn't sex. It's about feeling each other, dropping your guard, dropping your defenses, really being there with each other emotionally, physically, not worrying that somebody's going to do something more or an argument's going to break out, knowing that you have this trust between you. And they started every encounter. They just started doing that huddle and that starting move every day. It balances your whole body. You start to feel safe with each other. And they went and did that. And then the next session, they came back and I taught them how to communicate about the past couple of weeks and what their experience has been now that they're in connection, now that they feel present with each other. Don't worry about the stuff that happened before that because no way you can make it through the power struggle without a plan. Even at work, you got a project to do. You don't go, okay, I'll figure this out. You figure that out. No, you've got a plan to follow. And if you don't, you've got somebody to give you a plan. Does a sports team figure out how to be a team? No, it's when they have a coach and a plan and a practice that they actually start to function, that they have that structure, that rhythm that makes them start to feel connected, where they start to look forward to each other. That's how you get through what they call the power struggle, what we're going to call the practice phase. That's how you get to the love you man phase, where you trust that you're going to grow better and better together for a lifetime, emotionally, physically, trust through the good seasons and the bad seasons. Because think about it. Even just that huddle, even if you were not able to play in the game that day or something was happening, you'd still show up for your team because that's what we do. We show up for each other and we're there for each other. We don't just get into that power struggle and stay there because that will break the team. And too many people are breaking from that, and that's not okay with me. So start with that huddle. And if you want the rest of the moves, you want more details, you find links in the description so that you can talk to me, so that you can feel like my clients, where she felt heard, seen, and understood. And he felt connected emotionally and physically without talking, without pills, without pressure. Doesn't that sound good? Let me know in the comments. Are you struggling? Are you in that power struggle? What have you done to try and connect? What do you want to know about intimacy, love, sex, relationships? Or leave me a heart in your favorite color because that made me color. I'd love to know that you're here. Hit subscribe, turn on notifications, share this with somebody you love so that more people can find connection. And if you're ready to have more ease, more love, more connection in your relationship, start working like a team. You need a coach, a plan, and a practice. You'll find a link to talk to me in the description. You'll find a free huddle class, and you can do this in private. I've arranged it to make it exactly the way that it should be because I love you, man. And in the meantime, stay connected to yourself, each other, and me, and I'll see you soon. Sound good?